I want to start with your story. How did you get into music? I know you're from Baltimore, but that's about it.
Yeah. So grew up in Baltimore. Didn't really have any many friends who did music. Super isolated, but always, grew up around music. My dad was like into classic rock and Led Zeppelin and Supertramp and also a lot of just like really hi-fi records like Steely Dan and stuff. He was like an audiophile nerd.
If you're into Steely Dan, that's like
it's like the hats are crisp,
Right.
The ride is jangling, but so I always I grew up knowing what good music, quote unquote, good music sounded like, you know what I mean? And then my mom, was into Jimi Hendrix and Nirvana and like the whole 20s. She was a little bit, she has like this weird, sinister, dark energy, like sweetest woman in the world, but like was into like weird, like dark shit.
Yeah.
So I was super into the 27 Club and introduced me to all that music. And then I have an older sister who then introduced me to like indie shit like Arctic Monkeys and the White Stripes, which really became like my first love. And also, dude, the music from the Sonic games played a lot.
I know you're a big Sonic fan.
Yeah,
but
huge Sonic fan.
It's those, like, you forget like some of that music.
Yeah.
And there's like rumors that like Michael Jackson did some of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm so curious.
Oh,
if
you're
that's, like,
so
true.
hip. Yeah.
Right? Oh, I know. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just it was ingraining, I think, this theory in me from a young age, unbeknownst to me. And I was subconsciously, I think, absorbing all of that. But yeah, I guess I started playing drums maybe when I was like 13, 14. My sister was taking guitar lessons at that point. And I was like, fuck, let's start a family band type of thing. You know what I mean?
How much older was your sister?
My sister is 2 years, 9 months older. So almost 3 years.
Yeah, I'm the same age away from my brother. I'm older.
Okay, sick.
He was playing drums and I was like the guitarist.
No way, same exact thing. I'm telling you.
I love it.
But yeah, so from there, I remember playing drums and I was sort of like writing little tunes in my head, and I was like, I think I need to like learn an instrument with a tonal instrument, basically, like with notes, so I can actually like unravel what I'm concepting in my head. But so from there, it's so funny actually now that I'm remembering. My sister made me pay her $1 every time I wanted to play her guitar. She wouldn't give me her pick, so I learned guitar playing like with my thumb and my index finger.
Oh my god!
And I just found out then that I had a really good ear and that I could just figure shit out and like listen to records that I loved and just like sound it out.
Right.
And I think from there, once you, and I don't know if you had the same experience, but once you realize you have an affinity for something, you really just like, the obsession just kind of grows and there's nothing that can stop it. And that's sort of what happened to me.
Once it's there, it's like you can't turn it off. Like even if this wasn't my full-time job, I would still be doing it.
I know, it's a curse, low-key. Like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and I could say that because it wasn't my music became my full-time job at like 25, 26. So those first couple of years, like it was my side passion.
Yeah, of course.
It's absolutely.
Oh, that's how it starts, and then everyone's worried about you and. And, you know what I mean? They send you to fucking.
I mean, I may have failed a semester of college because I was out touring with a
Justin,
band,
naughty.
Yeah, I know, it's very naughty.
But yeah, so I basically started writing songs, and then when I was maybe 18 years old, I want to say, I got my. Basically, I Googled, like, I was like, how do you record a song? I was like, I feel like I want to like put this, or like not put it out. But I want to have a recording of it.
Create.
You know, I didn't even think about it. I just had this sick need to like record it. Right. It was zero intention really, other than to just get the recording down. So I got my first interface and then was recording it. I don't think I knew really what a producer was at that point, I think.
But none of us do. We're just
it's just...
I'm just recording this. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the intention was very like pure. It was like I didn't know what a producer was. I didn't know the names for things. I wanted to record my song, period. And then from there, I just became obsessed with recording other people because I was sort of getting a knack for things. And layering it, I had a drum setup, a piano setup, and obviously DI, electric, acoustic, whatever. I could do all of that. And then didn't know about samples or anything, like drum samples. Like I thought it's funny, dude. When I was a kid, like a little child. Right. I thought that books were like handwritten, and I was like, damn, authors are crazy. They can write so well. And that's kind of how I listen to music. I never thought of it as like processed. I just never really thought of it. You know, I thought everyone just mics a drum set. And
that's what I thought for years too. And then like I went on to like things like Superior Drummer or Addicted Drums, and then I learned about samples.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, such a weird thing.
So for so long, it was just mic a drum set, whatever, which in hindsight was great to get those basics down. And now I use drums all the time, like live drums all the time. And then actually, when I was around 18, Grace, Maisie, moved in next door.
Oh, I didn't know you guys have known each other that long.
Yeah, moved in next door to me. She was doing classical voice. She was like 15, like an actual child.
Right.
And, the neighborhood kids would hang out or whatever. So we like had met each other, and she wanted to make an album, and her parents like paid me basically to start working with her. And so that started happening. And then I like really started catching that sort of bug and becoming obsessed with music. And then in college, I met a bunch of other people who would go on to really help me get my deal, basically. Right. There's this artist, Rayami, Sarah Lee, and met her in college at like a talent show. And then the music we made together would go on to, that was good times and really fun to make. But yeah, so when I was out of college, I was really happening. My dad was like, listen, you have your degree. We're not really comfortable with you being in our basement and just making beats or whatever you do. So what's going to happen is you're going to go to get a master's degree. And I was like, dude, I can't do anymore. I can't do it. I will pass away. Yeah. I will simply pass away. Can't do any more classes. And he was like, just apply to something music. Right. If that's sort of what you want to do. He's just like, the creative thing is like scary.
Right.
Understandable.
Yeah. This is the dumbest profession.
Yeah. It's really silly. It's really silly. So I was like, okay, I love music. If I can facilitate its release and success in the world, then maybe that will be just as whatever. I went to the music business program at Steinhardt at NYU, which ended up being kind of like socially a little weird for me and was hard for me to also adjust, and same exact thing. And then New York was scary, and I didn't like New York, and it was just whatever. I had stacked my schedule actually at NYU from Monday to Wednesday, and then Wednesday night I would take the megabus home.
Oh, you were going back home? Dude.
Every single night, dude. Every single Wednesday, every single week for 2 years.
Wow.
Every single week. So then Wednesday to Sunday, I'd be home, and then Sunday I'd megabus back. But yeah, and then dude, I'm trying to think. So basically, yeah, I had a couple songs, maybe like one or two songs with Rayami out at that point. We had made some, just wild shit that we were just having fun with.
I just remember at the time, maybe because again, my cousin was showing me all of it, but I just feel like there was a point in time where everyone was talking about.
Yeah, it was like a very buzzy.
It was super buzzy. Yeah. I mean, the music was great, and so it makes sense. But I just remember everyone was like, "Yo, you fucking see this like records? Like these productions are nuts." And then the girl's crazy.
Yeah,
the best way.
Right.
Yeah, so like those records come out. When do you eventually make your way out to LA?